You're listening to Let's Talk with Jason B., coming from the greatest city on earth, Flint, Michigan. Broadcasting from the studios of FlintTalkRadio.com. And now, your host, Jason B.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm your host, Jason B., and you are listening to Let's Talk with Jason B.
Isn't that weird? They actually your name you actually have the right name for this show.
That's John.
Yeah, I mean that's just weird how that worked out, wasn't it?
That's John, my producer. Everyone, say hi, John.
Okay, and I hear everybody saying hi, John.
wait, John, say hi.
Hi, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually heard the voices in my head.
You should get that checked out. Holla. So, I got a lot of exciting things. Let me tell you. So much good stuff has been going on lately. I mean, let's not. I want to first of all. Does everybody like my decorations? I did that myself. Hopefully you can see them. They're pretty nice. Secondly, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I make that a conscious decision. Every time I hear someone say Happy Holidays, I'm like, no, it's, like I said, Merry Christmas. Can we zoom in on that real quick? Here we go. You see what it says? Merry Christmas. There you go. Okay. And so, thanks, John. So anyways, especially at the stores, everybody's like, Happy Holidays. And the radio is Happy Holidays. And I'm like, no, it's Christmas. And people are asking me, they say, well, do you even like Christmas? I'm like, that is beside the point, you know. It doesn't matter if Christmas is, if it's like, what is the reason for the season, people? Exactly. It's not Santa Claus. It's not the gifts. It's not this or that. It's, by the way, live here on the show, December 21st, we're going to have an extra special guest. I'm not going to say who, but he's very jolly and full of good cheer, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. John, could we turn the lights up just a smidge bit? There we go. So, there we go. Oh, boy. Everybody like to look at my sexy face. Anyways, I don't know if it's that attractive. Hey, I had a Christmas party. Holla! So, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. We ended up, I got like a zillion people at my house, and it's only made for 1 million people. So you can see how jam-packed it was. I went from a million to a zillion. Nobody likes that. But anyways, it's a lot of fun. We have good times. And so we ended up doing gift exchange, 42 gifts. That's why I wasn't here last week, in case any of you were wondering. I had a Christmas party, and I was jam-packed with things to do. So I didn't have, I canceled. I'm like, no, this is too much stress. Stress is terrible. Anyways, but if you wanted to call in, the number is down there, 810-208-1854. But you're thinking to yourself, why call in anyways? He hasn't even said anything. You know, I gotta stop touching that. But, if you want to talk or whatever, that's cool too. I'm having special guest Mark Chanham on the show later. He's coming in later. And we're going to chit-chat a little bit. He just had a story in, I'm trying to think, not M Live, My City or something like that. It was a nice article. I liked it a lot. I read it. I'm like, I didn't know that. Wow. Ooh, that's interesting. We'll definitely have him. We're definitely gonna have him back on the show. Also, I got a new phone. It's an iPhone. It's okay. I have gone to the dark side. Dump, 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 da 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 dump, da 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 dump. But that was the Star Wars. Anyways, yeah. So I have completed the trifecta of awesomeness with a iPhone, iPad, and a MacBook Pro, and so it is done. Let's just say I am awesome. What? Anyways, I'm drinking hot cocoa, which I like. Can you guys hear that if I do this again? Listen. I don't know, but I can hear it. It's a really big swallow. It's like a gulp. But then again, maybe it's just me. But it's better than hearing voices in my head. Oh, I tell you, I'm glad that's done with. Man, oh man. But we're having fun. We're enjoying time. There's so many things have been happening lately. I've just been so amazed by it. For instance, in Detroit, I just heard Goldman Sachs, this is a while ago, but Goldman Sachs decides to bring in 10,000 small businesses initiative to Detroit. It's a lot of fun. That's good stuff. I mean, it's about time Detroit Mayor Dave Bing is doing something, It says that it is a $500 million partnership to bring 10,000 small businesses to the Motor City. I was thinking about doing a small business of my own. Which reminds me, there was a guy, I think it was in Washington, D.C., he ended up having a small business where it wasn't a massage parlor, but he did extra, he would it was something about snuggling, where you would pay a certain fee to have a professional person snuggle you. And I was like, what? Snuggling? I said, gee whiz, I should start something like that, It reminds me of the poster. There's a little photo on the interweb or whatever, and it goes, there's a guy standing there with a sign that says free hugs, and there's a guy standing next to him that says deluxe hugs, $2. And I'm thinking, I should be the deluxe hug guy, because I give $2 deluxe hugs. And the thing is, if I give $2 deluxe hugs, imagine what else I can give, And so maybe to make a few extra dollars, I will do something awesome like, snuggling. Pay people, snuggle with people, that pay me. Or maybe I thought about, starting my own laboratory, and doing things like that. I'm not going to say what, because, or I really thought about doing this. A community, how they have community enrichment classes. I decided that maybe I will give a community enrichment class on how to do kissing class. And, you'd partner up, you'd bring a partner, or we'd have a stock of generic men and women, and you would learn how to kiss. And I would teach you, And because I used to be a really good kisser from back in the heyday. Not that I'm tooting my own horn, toot toot. But I used to be a pretty good kisser. There was a year years and years and years ago, mind you, sit down, relax, and enjoy story time with Uncle Jason. Well, I remember back in my heyday, I used to go. I would go on this date. We would do group dates. I was about 17, and the girl was 19, and I knew her from church or whatever. We used to go on group dates, a bunch of us. And you know how the group dates, there are people that are like, they are talking about, it's just, there's like 5 guys, 5 girls, and you're thinking to yourself, what about, and it's just 2 people, this one guy and this one girl that really like each other and spend a lot of time together, and everybody knows that they're interested in, hanging out individually or whatever. And it's like, well, that was kind of what it was with me and this one girl. So I got some buddies in my back seat of my car, and I'm driving up to the girl's house, and it's time that we leave, and I'm getting ready to get her out of her house, and her dad answers the door. This never happened before. And he comes up to me, and he's like, take a seat, son. He sounded exactly like that, And so I took a seat, and he's asking me all these questions. He's like, so when are you going to have her home? And where are you going to go? And what are you going to do? And you better have her back by 11 o'clock, no later, or it's going to be your head. And I was like, yes, sir, absolutely, sir, whatever you say, sir, Actually, I was more like, yes, sir, whatever you say, sir, I don't know. Probably not. Never mind. That was my, I was just super nervous at the time. And I'm even nervous just on the story. But so we go to this place called Great Lakes Crossing, and we go to the Jungle Cafe, overly priced, ridiculously priced, and we end up going to see this stupid chick flick called Legally Bold. Oh, I hated that. Oh, it was so dumb. And so I take her back to her house, 10:59 on the dot, okay? So she's there before 11, and she's standing up on the porch, and her hands are on her hip, bobbing up and down, and I'm thinking, holy smokes, what's going on? And ends up that she, so I walk back up there, and I ask her, I'm like, so, what's going on? Did I forget something? And she leans in, or she says softly, she's like, well, aren't you gonna hug me? And I'm like, holy smokes, and at this time, I used to hug people. I would hug them 3 seconds if I liked you, and 5 seconds if I really liked you. And I counted out loud a lot of times. It was like 1, 2, 3, let go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let go. So you kind of judged about how much I liked you and whatever. And so I thought, well, this girl did go out on a date with me, so I thought, well, I will give her a 3-second hug. So 3 seconds turned into 30 seconds, which seemed like 3 minutes. And I was like, oh, this is terrible. So I'm like a dead fish, my arms are just, and I'm just thinking maybe she's going to get the hint. She never got the hint, guys. Ends up, I take my hands, and I'm trying to slither them, just wedge myself between her and push her back or whatever. And I don't know how her brain was wired at the time, but she decides to say, she gazes into my beautiful eyes, and very dreamily she looks at me, and then instinctively, wham! she kisses me right on the lips. Ow, 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 ow. And I thought to myself, well, maybe 3 months down the line I get a little peck on the cheek or something, but because, mind you, I'm hugging 3 seconds. And so she kisses me right on the lips. And I'm like, holy smokes, and so I end up, and it wasn't, I'm telling you this, guys, it was not one of those movie theater kisses, it was disgusting. Slobbers down my chin, my glasses is all fogged up. It is gross. And so I'm like, this is terrible. What am I going to do? How am I going to have this girl stop kissing me? So, and right when that thought comes into my brain, hey, John, can we take down the number right now? Thanks. And so right when my thought pops into the brain, her tongue, because I'm thinking, what the heck? What the heck? Something is in my mouth and it ain't mine, It was her tongue, guys. It was her tongue. It was disgusting. And I'll tell you this. She wanted, and it was just. Can you get a close up of that? I'll show you what she did again. It was like. And she actually sounded just like that, as she's doing it. And she's like part troll or something. So, ended up, she, her tongue's all up in there, and she wants to play tonsil hockey, and I'm not right. I don't even know how to play that game, let alone had any of the proper equipment, if you catch my drift. And I decided to myself, I'm like, this is outrageous. And mind you, I had a dentist appointment the next day that I canceled. And they're like, is there any particular reason why you're canceling? And I said, yes, because I just went out on a date and this girl literally sucked the plaque right off of my teeth. So I don't need to go to a dentist. And so they laughed and whatever, but it's totally true. But so I'm thinking, well, how is this? How am I gonna do this? How is this tongue gonna get out of my mouth? Because she's and so I decide to take my tongue and push her tongue out. I was like, but ends up that it did not work because her tongue was my mouth went up into her mouth. My tongue went into her mouth, and I'm like, these are not my teeth. This is not my mouth. Whoa, So she's getting all flustered over there, thinking I'm returning the favor or whatever, and I'm thinking that is totally not the case, And ends up that I decide, well, wait a minute. I'm just going to take my teeth and I'm going to bite just gently enough, hard enough to so she figures it out. I'm going to bite her tongue with my mouth, with my teeth. So I bite it. And apparently I did not bite it hard enough because she was like, ow, ow. And next thing you know, she's climbing all over me. And I fall on the ground. And she's rolling all over. And it is just gross. It is gross and wet. And my clothes are ruined. And worse for wear, her dad, it's like 11:03 at this time. Her dad's freaking out. Calling her, ends up, he walks out at 11:05 or whatever, a few minutes later, and he is fuming. His eyes are bulging out of his head, and his forehead is completely red, and he's like, I swear you could see the steam, like in those cartoons or something, But he's really upset. And needless to say, after I got out of the hospital, I did not talk to her, see her. I deleted her from Facebook. If there was a Facebook, I would have deleted her from there. But believe it or not, kids, at that time, we did not have Facebook. In fact, I remember a time years and years and years ago, I had to go outside and literally crank my car to get it started. And that's a true story. And, and speaking about cell phones, I remember cell phones, our fancy texting wasn't doodle 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 doodle. It was more like beep 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 beep, you know, Morse code. And so, ends up that so I'm old. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm old. Because I'll tell you this. Here's the words of wisdom for that whole monologue of story. It is not how old you are. It is how old you feel, you know. And also, you cannot beat a dead horse twice. Technically, you should not beat a horse once. Maybe in a game of checkers, but that's about it. That was a joke. Speaking about a joke, I posted something really funny on Facebook. Oh, actually, did I tell you? I went to a library the other day, and I found the public library, and I got a book, really great book, on anti-gravity. It was so thrilling. I mean, it was so enthralling that I could hardly put it down. You get it? Anti-gravity? Put it down?
I wish you were warming. I could have loaded up the rim shot.
Okay. I thought it was hilarious. I tell you, I came up with that myself. But no, seriously, I'm one of those people that, you know, you got some people that are like, bleh. But to be honest, I'm just inclined to lay back, if you know what I mean. But I do need a rim shot, that's for sure. Christmas traditions. Does anybody have any? I think I do, but I can't remember what they are. We do gift exchange, funny gift exchange. This year was really funny. We had some mustache coasters that were given away. I got a really nice, man, there was a Justin Bieber stocking that I wanted, but was not able to get it. He is my favorite artist, by the way. I love Justin Bieber. Baby, 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 ooh, baby, baby. Yeah, anyways, I'm not a singer. I did do karaoke the other day. And I'll tell you this. My singing skills is like a 4. But my entertaining skills is like a 10 plus. It is not even numbered. That's how awesome my entertaining skills were. I was down on my knees and I was like, when a man loves a woman, and they were like, woo, 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 and I was like, whatever, you know.
All the other Walmart shoppers are really amused, right?
Yeah, well, you know, well, you never know. That was loud. Here's something interesting. I just read this the other day. Detroit's old Packard plant. I don't know if any of you listeners worked in the Packard plant or had relatives that worked in the Packard plant. It's closed now, unless you were wondering. But the guy who bought it, says, gee whiz, he wants to build a fancy go-kart racing track. Go-kart at the Packard plant. I've only done go-karts once in my entire life, and I nearly died from it. Speaking about nearly dying, I'm gonna go skiing this winter, and hopefully I'll have videos to post for it, and so people can see how awesome of a skier I am. You might as well just call me the male equivalent of Lindsey Vaughn, because not only am I that attractive, but I am that awesome at skiing too, and I haven't even gone on it once. Everybody was like, bunny hills, bunny hills, bunny hills. And I said, no, I'm not doing the cheesy bunny hill. I saw it. It was so cheesy. I was like, heck no, no way. So, and have you ever gone skiing, John?
No, I haven't. I am. It's like strapping on shiny pieces of wood and going down hard pack surfaces with ice and snow. It's kind of a scary proposition to me.
It is easy. I've seen it done.
Yeah, I've seen it done. Do you notice that Mount Holly, right at the base of it, there's a cemetery? That should be a warning for everybody. Okay?
Oh my gosh. Don't be so superstitious. Speaking about cemeteries, here's something really interesting. A friend of mine was, she's one of these hippie liberal nut jobs, She decides, she's already off her rocker already, but ends up that she says she's going to go, walk around graves and this and that, and check how old they are. And I'll tell you, when I visit a grave, for Christmas, for loved ones or whatever, I'll put down whatever plants, and then I'll walk away, and maybe I'll check to see the oldest tombstone I could find. By the way, people, let me ask you something. What do you want on your tombstone? What do you want it to say? And don't tell me cheese and extra pepperoni.
I want mine. He ain't here. No, he's not here.
Cheese and pepperoni. Do you get it?
Yeah, tombstone pizza.
Go, John.
Yeah,
What'd
I
you
said
say?
I want a Maya headstone. I want to say he's not here.
No, he's not. Well, where would you be?
I don't want to be dead. See, I like what Woody Allen says. I don't want to achieve immortality through my work. I want to achieve immortality by not dying. Okay.
That's Ted Williams. He's cryogenically frozen.
Next, it's like, yeah, Woody Allen. Like, I like that. He's like fear to death. I mean, he's got like almost like a bizarre phobia of it. Woody Allen does. I mean, we all should fear it. I mean, it's not all that fun,
I don't fear death. I'm like.
No, you're talking about going skiing. I guess not.
Whatever. I'm like, you know what? I'm super young, and I got no family. I got no this or that, and I'm thinking, well, I'm pretty much, if I die, I die, and that's that. I just hope it's fast. I hope it's painless, and whatever, But speaking about death, Paul Walker ended up dying 40 years old. Paul who, you might ask? Paul Walker. He's a Fast and Furious guy. I've never seen any of the shows or movies, so I couldn't tell you. But he ended up dying just the other day. And Facebook was just lit up with Paul Walker, R.I.P. Paul Walker, whatever. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I've never seen one of the movies. I don't really care. It's sad that he is dead. And what's even worse is that he wants, I'm thinking, is that guy, where is he now? Is he, one would hope that his eternity is in check. Oh, here's something terrible. Michigan, this great state of Michigan, they have reported 24/7 Wall Street, or it's WALLST. So it's 247 Wallst, I imagine it's street.com, ranks Michigan as the 35th best run state in the nation. Or if you want to look at it in a more less than flattering way, the 16th worst state, the 16th worst run state. I'm like, what? No.
There's others worse than we are, though, see? See, I'm trying to be an optimist. I'm a fledgling, you know.
There you
It's a
go.
pathetic attempt because I'm not an optimist. I'm a pessimist, but.
Speak life, John. Speak life.
Well, that's life. Pessimism is life. Life is pessimism.
Well, I'll tell you this. One, speaking life is, I mean, you don't want to say you stink. Even though a person may stink, you don't want to say it. Because that doesn't build them up, make them a better person. That only brings them down. But I'll tell you this. I've done a few things. One, there are some people that look at the glass half empty. Those are pessimists, which I used to be. There are some people that look at the glass half full, which are optimists, which I'm trying to be. But in all reality, I am a realist. A what? A realist. I see a glass that is twice the size that it needs to be. And that's the problem. Therein lies the problem, my friends. It's like you see it and you're like, well, these are my circumstances. This is my life. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, you gotta be like, no, your life is more than what you put into it, to be honest with you. Your life is what you get out of it. And you write that down, you know. Your life isn't what you put into it, it's what you get out of it. But in the same aspect, it's a tit for tat sort of thing. Because if you put in nothing, you will get out nothing. And if you put in plenty, you will get out of it plenty. Reminds me of a story. A good friend of mine, he was giving away some money. He gave away like $30 to one guy, $20 to another guy, and $10 to the third guy, you know. Well, I'll tell you this. The guy that got $30, he basically built his business up with $30. That's it. And he invested it, and the $30 came to $3,000. And the second guy who got $20, this is a true story, my friend did this. Second guy and he was telling me, second guy who got $20 ended up, not doing great investments, okay investments, but his investments was that $20 turned into $200. So not $3,000, but still not bad. $2,200, pretty good profit margin, I guess. The third guy who got $10 didn't invest squat. He kept it. He stuck it under his mattress, under his pillow, in his wallet, whatever, and he didn't spend it. And the point is, when my friend goes back and he's like, well, what did you do with the $10? He's like, oh, I did nothing. I kept it. I didn't spend it. I didn't invest it. I did nothing with it. And my buddy was like, that's terrible, is pretty much what he said. He was livid because he said to me, he's like, you only get what you put into life. And so when that guy who got the $10 did absolutely nothing with it, he's like, what a waste of resources, what a waste of time, what a waste of everything. It was just a big waste. And so, anyways, and so that's the point I'm making there. There's my speaking life segment is you get... what you get out of life is what you put into it. Whoa. Also, I have one more whopping awesomeness words of wisdom. I want to say one more. To write with a broken pencil is pointless. You remember that, America. To write with a broken pencil is pointless. You're welcome.
Another rim shot.
Hey, that is, you know what? We need to invest in rim shots, is what we need to invest in. If anybody, and here's the thing, we need to invest in a lot of things, guys, not just rim shots. We need some fancy cameras because watch this. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. See, it's a little choppy, just a smidge, but
You're
not
so
too
fast,
bad.
man. You're like, Superman fast,
Who was it? Yeah, don't sidetrack me. I forgot what I was saying. Jeez. Yeah, invest. And so I'm thinking if you guys are interested, especially with the Christmas season, not the holiday season, but the Christmas season is upon us. And if you have a business that is big in retailing and or you have a nice fancy gift, a little hobby that you do that you want to turn it into something else, like whether it's woodworking stuff or you make the world's best jams or jellies or whatever. If you, or cupcakes, I know a lot of people are doing cupcakes now. If you guys want to start investing in this radio station, internet radio station, then we will be glad to take your money. But no, yes, but no. We would also like to help your business thrive and strive the best we know how. And we actually do that with our hundreds and hundreds of listeners, not thousands, but we're getting there. Sooner or later we'll get there. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But if you're interested in investing, put that number up one more time. Call this number, 810-208-1854. We're going to have that number up there for you real quick, and you'll be able to write it down. That's 810-208-1854. Because I was telling John, my producer, this, I said, I want only the very best quality product to go out to my listeners. They deserve that, They don't deserve choppiness. They don't deserve bad audio quality. They deserve awesomeness. And if we can't give that to them, then just cut my arms right off. That's pretty much what I said. I said, just cut my arms right off. And so, call us, let us get involved. We will end up 810-208-1854. That's the radio number. We can talk to you about some plans or whatever. And I can't do that right now. But ends up that we are doing some great stuff here in the community, that's for sure. And that's pretty much what the show is all about, is doing good stuff in the community. And I want to, here's something. No, I don't want to talk about that. That's terrible. I got a friend. I've got a sticker text right now. And John, I'm wondering exactly, could you go, there's a buddy of mine, the special guest is out there, if you don't mind checking. Isn't that great having a producer? I'd be like, John, get me some tea. John, I want some coffee. John, I demand this and that and that and this. And bam, 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 bam. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that, But seriously, maybe I would. I don't know. But Prima Donna, is that a song? No, not Prima Donna. What is it? Madonna. am doing some things. What am I? One more thing. I think it's real interesting that I forgot what I was saying. Oh my gosh. Here's something fun. There was a guy who was oh, thank goodness. Here he is, folks. Mark Chapman. Here he is. Everybody say hi, Mark.
Hey!
Grab one of your fancy headphones so you can hear us.
It's cold outside.
Hi. How you doing?
Good.
It's good to see you. Glad you could make it. Oh, there you go. Let's fiddle that around a little quick. All right, the one in the middle's the one we want to talk to. So.
All right.
Anyways, so Mark, how you look sharp today. Gee whiz, look at that. You are looking I like that tie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look at me. Ugh, ugly sweaters. So it is chilly out. I mean, when I woke up this morning, it was like 0 degrees, wind chill. Literally, my eyes almost was frozen shut. No, I'm kidding. So Mark, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, what do you want to know about me?
My goodness. First of all, tell us, how do you like being a local celebrity? Holla!
Local celebrity. It is quite funny when my neighbor realizes who I am and says, "Oh, I saw you on TV," and it's like, "Oh."
There you go. Yeah. Now, like, because you've been on ABC 12, you've been on. What was that?
My City Magazine.
My City Magazine, the article, and you've been all. I mean, now tell us.
Spoke for National Adoption Day,
which we want you back on for, by the way. Tell us exactly what you, why all of a sudden everything is just opportunity after opportunity is afforded to you. Like, what are you talking about on these shows?
A lot of times what I'm talking about is just pretty much my story, how I've grown up, and not so much all of the sad things that have happened, but more so where I am now and how I've been placed where I am now. So it's the whole hope. Our city is Flint, and so everyone's looking for hope. So that story of hope is what's attracting a lot of people as I begin to go about.
And I just want to say that I've decided that I'm going to be very hopeful, because if hope is attracting people, then if I'm hopeful, my gosh, I'll be attractive. And sooner or later, girlfriend, hello. So tell us about, like, what is your story? Tell us what your story is. Go start from the beginning and work your way to now. Go.
Well then, where do we start?
Well, when I read the article, your name's not even Mark Chatham, is it? It wasn't. It didn't start out like that, did it?
Correct. So I was in foster care, and I was placed here in Flint. I was actually born in Pontiac, Michigan. I was placed here in Flint through a local adoption agency named Innocent Center for Children, which is located downtown. Mm-hmm. And I was placed into a ladies' home named Dolores Barnes. And story goes, even as it is in the magazine, story goes that I was often in a corner when Martha Chapman, insert who was my mother, came in. And she would always see me in the corner with my foot raised. And so she adopted me so that she could see my face.
Oh, that's nice.
Anyhow, so once I was going through the adoption period, there came a moment where I could change my name. My birth name was Christopher Raymond Johnson Powell. Now, you imagine being in 2nd, 3rd grade trying to write all of that out.
Oh, my goodness.
And so from that, I decided to shorten it down to Mark. 4 letters.
I like it. Mark. Solid.
Mark Chapman.
I thought about changing my name a while ago. Instead of Jason, Jason, I thought about changing it to Jayzoune. Jason. The French name. No, I'm kidding. But
That's a lot.
they're like, nah, don't do that. No. But my last name is a lot. My goodness. But we won't go there. Anyways, so you changed your name.
Mm-hmm.
You're going through school. You are. Take us after that. I mean, was things going smooth for you in high school and into college and stuff?
Well, I still had tons of behavioral issues, which resulted from pretty much just resulted from going through adoption. I really, at an adolescent age, really couldn't comprehend what all was happening.
Oh yeah.
And so I began to react outwardly in a behavioral way. So going through high school and elementary and middle school and all those things were definitely a challenge. I was definitely a challenge to my teachers, to my mother, and to my family. It was always a call home from school. So
yeah, well, what teenager isn't? For sure. But things, what happened? What was the shift? Where it was like, when did you stop behaving poorly, and how did it shift to where you are now?
The shift definitely is one that's more of a spiritual side. I started to begin and realize who I actually was, not just in a natural way, but more in a spiritual way. I'm a child of God. I'm a child of the King. And
Glory.
so I began to understand that, and then after I actually understood it, I began to walk in that. I began to actually exhibit those qualities, and that is how the change happened. I remember even just the other day, I was hanging out with my mom. We went out to the farmer's market and stuff about a few weeks ago, right after the airing of ABC 12, and she was like, you still surprised us all. We never thought you was going to turn out like this. We thought you was going to turn out good, but we never thought that you would turn out at the level that I am. And I'm always moving forward, always forward thinking. And I just think that's healthy. You always want to be moving forward, never want to be digressing.
Absolutely. I would like to think that there are ups and downs always, and sometimes you even get the plateaus, but you never stop.
That's right.
Even if you're in a downward slope, you're still trying to move forward, and I think it's really important that we keep that forward momentum going, because in physics, it's like you cannot stop if things just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Like a snowball, because I was talking about skiing earlier, a snowball that starts out small and going down the hill, it's huge, it's gigantic, and I think if that's what we keep doing is moving forward, and our destinies, our purpose will grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will encompass and affect more people. You know what I mean?
That's really true, because even in my case, if we go back to the adoption period, I was adopted at the age of 12, and statistics say that when you're 12,
I did not know it was that early.
Yeah, your statistics say that when you hit a certain age group, that it begins to your higher risk for adoption. Yeah. People really want to adopt, the innocent child. They want to adopt the innocent children, the baby, 3-4 days old, a month, or a year or two. They don't want to adopt someone that has behavioral issues. They don't want to adopt anyone that has all of these different things that have already been established. Yeah. So even adopting someone that was 12, like myself, when I was 12, it's a high statistic. And even then, understanding my mother who adopted me, even understanding that, I can make a change still. Even having that positive aspect of high risk, probably going to have a lot of issues, but the thing is, look how I turned out.
Absolutely.
All children that are high risk aren't bad children. And I think even as grown-ups, even as adults, that we shouldn't speak bad children mentality into people, because whatever you impart into people, that's what they'll become. Whatever a person believes internally is what they will be. Yep. If you believe internally that you're poor, then you're going to be poor. You can't be rich and think poor mentality. So,
I believe I am famous, therefore I am famous.
There you go. You think big, get big.
That's right. There was a story that a friend of mine, he had, he knew a couple that did an adoption, really young age, 3-4 years old the kid was, maybe 5. But he was from another country.
Okay.
And there was such you were talking about mentality, and the kid, there was cookies on the shelf, and you would think a kid would go for the cookies. But when the mother walked in, she saw the kid had taken not the cookies but the dog food from the dog and started eating the dog food, and the dog was in a mess. And it's like, oh my goodness, you have that orphan mentality that makes you think, the thing is, you don't know that you've got the cookies above you. You're thinking all you see is the dog food, and that's all you're going to eat. But there's always something higher for you, something better.
That's really good. That's a really good point, Jason. Even thinking as an adult on a spiritual side, you can't really limit your success to the people that you hang around, because I can see only so far from here.
Amen.
But if we're outside and I can only see down the street from here, and so I can limit my success to what I can see from here. And because you're my friend, I can only tell you, this is as far as you can go. But then you can be on the ceiling and you can see the whole neighborhood. Yep. And then you can see more than what I can see here on the ground. Yep. So we can't really limit ourselves to our friends, to their point of view. We have to go above that and look for ourselves.
Absolutely.
I think that's really important. That's a good point, Jason.
Thank you, Mike. And so I was, sidetrack real quick. What did you think of my Christmas party?
Jason throws an awesome Christmas party.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
It was a lot of people. How many did we have about?
I lost count around 70-ish,
Yeah.
I think it was 70, 71, and I was like, I can't keep track,
I kind of hung out by the food table.
Oh, well, that was the most quiet room, minus the bathroom. But, I was afraid we're going to have to start pushing people that way. The kitchen was full, the living room was full. It was standing room only. I got to get more room.
Yeah, I don't understand how you're going to top next year.
You got me. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure something out. But I do throw awesome Christmas parties, which, by the way, John, you weren't there. You want to tell people why you weren't there?
I was at a wedding because the couple who was getting married, I introduced them to each other, so I kind of had to be there if they thought. So
no
but
excuses.
I didn't show up for the reception because there was no unmarried women there. So anyway, I didn't go there. I skirted out of that. But anyway, they've been together like 4 years now.
Oh wow!
So they finally got married, made it legal. But
made it legal, hey.
Too long.
But they've been together for a long time, and it was really kind of cool because I just put them together. I figured they'd be a good couple. Girls complaining she couldn't find a nice guy. I went, I think I know one. So
you're a nice guy.
So then you got that same plan for Jason then?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Let's hope so. I'm oozing hope, so people find that attractive. So that's what I'm doing. Hope. Anyways, so back to what we're talking about here. So you ended up, spiritually things had changed. Now, what church did you go to where the shift was it just an epiphany where it was like, or was it just after a while things started, you know what I mean?
Well, so here we go.
Here we go.
As an adolescent, I went to a Baptist church, and so I was very comfortable with the way they did things, but I really didn't grow. And this is the way I kind of explain it. When you're a kid, you kind of eat, as a baby you eat kind of, small foods and things like that, but as I started to grow, I wanted more meat, I wanted things that were going to fill me up. I wanted, steak, and I wanted, pork chops and lamb chops, and I wanted the good stuff: mashed potatoes and gravy, macaroni and cheese, cornbread. But I wasn't getting that. Oh. So I was still getting the applesauce and the grits, which is so good. Grits are so good. So the point of that is, I was getting stuff, but it wasn't rich, and my life really wasn't changing. I wasn't challenged to move forward. So I turned 18. I moved out of my mom's house, got my own place, and I stopped going to church.
Oh, that happens a lot.
And long story short, I was a manager of a store in the mall, and I hired this guy. And me and him, we began to create a relationship. We began to hang out after work and things like that. And from that, he would invite me to church, and I'm like, nah, man, Saturday, Sunday are my days off. Yeah. I'm going to relax. Hello.
There you go.
Hello. Hey. So through time, I decided to go with him one time, and I went to a church called Empowered Believers Worship Center, which is now located downtown Flint.
Shout out.
Which is now located downtown Flint, and that's where I began to learn how to do and how to live as a Christian effectively. That's why I actually began to incorporate those daily things into my life. Maybe I won't do this. Maybe I'll do this instead. This pleases God. And it's not even so much of I'm doing this because I don't want to go to hell. It's because I'm doing this because I want to please God. And I think that's when we change that mentality. We were even talking about this. I was speaking with a local school teacher, and she was saying a student came up to her and said, I haven't been acting up because I don't want to get in trouble. And so we were talking about how that progresses to, I'm not doing this because I don't want to get in trouble, until I'm doing this because I'm satisfied with the results of it. And so that's how that happened. It started off with, I know if I do this, I'll probably go to hell. And if Jesus would have came back at that moment, I probably would have went to hell. But then it started, transforming to, this pleases God. So I'm actually going to do this not because I don't want to go to hell, because I want to please God.
Amen to that. Tell us, so you stopped going, and then you hired this guy from the business, and then we're just making our way through the life of Mark here, and not the book of Mark, not to get the biblical confused. All right, tell us about Revive Flint real quick.
Revive Flint is a local Christian movement. It's the parent company of that is called Time to Revive. Time to Revive came in, and we actually invited them in. They come in, and they actually show us how to get outside of our walls. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about this is it's not just one church. It's not just a few churches. It's not even a street of churches. It's all the local churches of the city. Every church in the city of Flint has been invited to this. If they're a part of it or not, they have been invited. What we do is we go out twice a month. You can check our Facebook page out for the dates. We just did the last one of the year last Saturday. And we actually were invited to do caroling in front of Kroger's. Oh. The January 2014 schedule has not been uploaded, but if you do follow us on Facebook, you will receive that. What it does is it embraces people to share the truth that transform lives. And it's not about going out and saying, oh, you're going to hell, you're doing this, you're going to hell, but it's more about building a relationship with people and getting the local Christians outside of their comfort zone, outside of the four walls, to get and start just interacting and talking with people.
And we will have the Revive Flint Facebook page on our website. I'll be sure to do that. Mark, I like what you're saying. This hope thing, it's contagious. I feel it in my bones. Then again, that might just be my arthritis. I don't know. But it does feel good. I feel warm and fuzzy inside when we talk about this. Real quick, I know we're running out of time, but is there anything else that you want to tell the listeners out there? Anything inspiring or a plug for whatever Mark Chapman, single. Ow! Also me, though. So
Well, if I had to share anything with anyone, it would pretty much be just like we were just talking today about the message of hope. The message of hope is what our city needs to thrive.
Yes.
Without hope, there's no future. There's plenty of different stories and different stories about hope, but the main thing is, do you have hope?
Yes.
And if you do have hope, how do you share that with people? And you don't, even as we talk about Revive Flint, you don't have to do something spectacular to go out and share your story with people. You could be interacting with the lady at Kroger's, selecting, what kind of cheese you want, and she gets to telling you about her day, and you know what you simply ask? How can I pray for you? You having a bad day? How can I pray for you?
Absolutely.
We don't have to get down on our knees or anything. I can just stand here and just pray for you real quick.
Yeah.
And it's just about making those relationships, accepting those different things that happen to you in the marketplace as ministry opportunities. So that would be my message of hope to the people of Let's Talk with Jason P.
I like it. Guys, that just about does it for today's show. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We did. I feel, Mark, thanks so much for stopping in. Sorry that we were pressed for time, but I do definitely want to have you back. All right. If that's not a problem.
Not a problem at all.
Great. So later on, we will, again, let's give it up for Mark. Thanks so much.
Sure, no problem, Jason.
I appreciate it. And remember, next week we're going to talk about the parenting. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff going on in Flint. That's my favorite part. And hopefully everyone will tune back in and we will have a good time and enjoy each other's company. So again, thanks, Mark, for coming in and talking with us about hope. And remember to behave yourselves, people, because I want to see you next week. So, all right. Thanks again.